Just share.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to be in categories. They, oh, I'm spiritual. I ain't Christian. I'm spiritual. Well, you still believe in the Bible, so you're Christian. You know, or they do ancestry veneration. So you don't have to be a title. You can be whatever you want. You just be Sherry.
Yeah, I like a lot of people. I was raised up in the Christian church. Then I went to non-denominational. Then I went to Israelite, the Black Israelites, and they was telling me I couldn't wear this and couldn't do this, and I said, "Oh, me, what the guy got into it? Oh no, I'm done." You can't. You have to wear dresses all the time. You have to have the blue ribbon and the knots hanging at the end, all kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Hebrew Israelites was never something that I would have ever went towards. Just this militaristic mentality and the level of ignorance that you have to have, because I would have to deny my actual heritage in order to be a Hebrew Israelite. And then I would have to put forth things that I knew were untrue in order to be a Hebrew Israelite. So it took me I'm gonna give them a little credit and say it took me all of a day to realize that Hebrew Israelite is just some old bullshit that was designed. Really, it's kind of designed after the Black Muslim movement, that you find Black people who are in a situation where they feel marginalized, make them think that the true God that's within one of these books, the Bible or the Quran, is your God, but they just been using it wrong, and that this God is going to redeem you in some form or fashion. So kind of like how the Nation of Islam did that with the Quran, the Hebrew Israelites just simply did that with the Pentateuch or with the Torah, is to reinvent the Torah to fit Black Americans. And then later on, they elevated it to it's not only Black Americans, but it's also the Hispanic community as well, because they just preying on marginalized people's emotions.
Now, I dated a guy that said he was a Black Israelite, that he wasn't a Hebrew Israelite. He didn't follow the clothing and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because just like any religion that starts, you're going to get alternative thoughts, and those alternative thoughts are going to create a division within that religion, which that in itself should let people know it ain't real.
You mentioned heritage. Now, I did our family tree all the way back to the 1800s, because we have documentation, we have pictures with the dates on it and everything, and we still have 40 acres of our 100 acres that they started out with in our family.
Cool. Oh, that's outstanding. That is outstanding. Yeah, I was able to go back to. She a child of the 70s. I think everybody should go back and do as much research as they can. Fortunately, for one of my lines, I was able to go back to the 1650. But we had the land still, but my grandmother sold the land to one of our other relatives. So technically we had the land, but I have no access to any of that in the sense of ownership. But at least it's still within the family.
My brother and sister pay the taxes still on the land that we have. It got passed down from the grandparents to my father, then to us.
Yeah, and at least yours is still in the bloodline. Ours went into the non-bloodline of the family, like a married bloodline of the family.
Yeah.
So like my grandmother sold it to the husband of one of her nieces, and so of course now he passed it down to his daughter, where it's now owned by his daughter. I mean, she's still technically in the bloodline, but it's not emotionally connected because she has passed away. So now it's with her daughter. And like with her daughter, only me and my cousins at my age are still kind of connected to her. But when she passes it down, there won't be any emotional connection because my kids and my cousins' kids are not really connected to her kids. So even going to the land annually and having family events, all of that stopped.
Well, hello there.
All that stuff stopped. So that's cool that yours is still connected.
I was told we had like 300 acres that got lost, but I hadn't found
Hey
any
Kyle, I'm
proof that
getting ready
it
for a
was.
stream, so I'm kind of in
Oh, a
and
lot
out.
of them got that.
Yeah.
And then you got, like I was saying earlier about my wife's family, her is like a relative who was offered when they had reconstruction. No, so it was much later. So when they had reconstruction, their family had got all this land, but then there was somebody later on, she denied the land. She didn't even take it because
Yeah, I heard you say that.
yeah, that was some bullshit. I wanted to go and dig her up and be like, hey, you fucked up.
But yeah, I want to test it out,
Family
but I need
messed
a
up the
minute.
family, but people do dumb shit.
That was like 60 acres. We had other relatives paying the taxes, and of course they didn't pay the taxes, and we didn't find out about it till it was lost.
And that is how a lot of people lose their land, is that they don't pay the tax on it because they're not living, there, or they moved away from there, so they don't want to deal with it. So they just let it go to probate court, and now anybody can go get it. You can go to a tax lien auction and you can buy that land, and and after, depending on what state you're in, after a certain amount of time, you own that land now.
Yeah, my brother did get a piece of it. He did that. He went and got, some in his own name. But I plan on building on it, going back home, because like now I live in Prairieville, but that's in Natchitoches, Louisiana. It's supposed to be the oldest settlement in Louisiana purchased.
Okay. But lady, I am hungry as all get out. And my neighbor and I started back that noise that he was making that was driving me crazy this morning, which is why I started 20 minutes late. It's not as bad as it was earlier. You would have thought I was at a machine shop if I would have came on live at 11 o'clock or 12 noon. So I'm gonna get off, but I appreciate talking to you, and I'll make sure I send that information to you so that when you get here, you can alert me that you're here.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, Sherry.
All right. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you as well.
Good day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Right. So for all of you who do not know what me and Sherry was talking about in the reference of being here, we are having a meetup here in San Antonio, October 31st through November 2nd. If you go to my YouTube page and type in @CoachRance33, you'll be able to find the page. Click on this recent live, and you will see the link to the hotel that we are utilizing. That hotel provides a free breakfast and a free supper. And some of the events that we're going to have surrounding this meetup are as follows. Reading the minutes of church. We're going to meet up at a distillery called Devil's River, which is about a 7-minute walk from the hotel. We mapped that out over the weekend, and that's just where we're going to meet and greet. There's a patio. We're going to sit on the patio. Those who don't like cigar smoke, sit downwind from me, and you'll be all right. Then that night, because of Sherry, we're going to find a place to go dance. If we don't do it that night, we'll do it Saturday night. All right. We might do it both nights here because I like having fun. And then Saturday morning, we're going to have a biz and money talk poolside at the Drury Hotel downtown, Drury Plaza Hotel downtown San Antonio, 10 a.m. And then because we need to be financially squared away, go ahead and put your question up, BB. Then that afternoon at 2 p.m. after lunchtime, we're going to meet at the Japanese Tea Garden. It's if you're driving, it's just a few minutes away. If you're not driving, it's a $15 Uber ride away, and you can share that with somebody. I drive a Mustang, so I'm not caravanning people. But the Japanese Tea Garden is free. That they do have a little restaurant up there if you like, but we're going to have a deconstruction Q&A. That way you will be able to ask your questions. It won't be a static type of situation. Then later that evening, we're going to have a developing the community of deconstructing, which probably going to turn into another Q&A from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. because the pool closes at 10 p.m. It's going to be poolside. And then we're going to go do some more dancing, or if we didn't go dance on that Friday night, because of Sherry. I'm actually gonna blame Sherry for this the whole time. The dancing part, even though we probably would have did that anyway. But I'm gonna blame Sherry. And then Sunday morning, we're just gonna do a sound bowl meditation for those who want to participate around 7 a.m. Poolside. And then depending on how and when people leave on Sunday, we'll figure it out. But if my Falcons are playing, we're gonna be somewhere to watch my Falcons at 11 a.m. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch my game, and my wife's gonna watch her Pittsburgh Steelers. So I would look forward to you guys being there during that time frame. I hope to see all of you, but go to @CoachRange33 on YouTube. Look up any of the more recent, more recent video lives, and you'll see the link to the hotel. I need at least 7 more rooms, so that I'm not responsible for those other rooms. So y'all need to get the reserve. You don't have to pay right now. You do have to put your card in, but you don't have to pay for it right now. VB, I was trying to give you time to ask your question. I'm trying to let you ask that question before I get off here. You know, if y'all need to buddy up with people to get here, buddy up with people to get here. Where's your question, VB? Don't, Coach, I got a question, and then say sorry. Coach, okay, there we go. Is Egypt or Mesopotamia or African civilizations older? Okay. So let me put her question up there so people on the other places can see it. So VB's question is Egypt, Mesopotamia, or African civilizations older? Now, Egypt would be considered an African civilization since it is on the continent of Africa. Mesopotamia technically is on the continental shelf of Africa. So some people will say that Mesopotamia is an African civilization as well. Just out of the ones that you are saying, then you definitely are going to say African civilization is older, but it depends on where we're talking about. So we can go down into South Africa and we see that there was called Adam's calendar. That is an African cross civilization construct that was there. That is older than any other civilization, any other construction that we've seen in Africa or pretty much anywhere else in the world. They are still arguing and debating over whether or not it was a full-fledged civilization as as science, anthropology categorized civilization. At first, they just thought it was a cattle crawl. Well, at first they thought it was just some kind of megalithic structure to view the stars. Then they realized, then they were saying it was a cattle holdings. And now they're also saying that people were living in this circular cross civilization. Some dated back to 20,000 years ago. Some dated back to 70,000 years ago. And some even have pushed it back as to 200,000 years ago. I'm more in the 70,000 years ago, but that if it was 70,000 years ago, being in South Africa, the last ice age would have destroyed that civilization. They would have migrated away from it and left it because it would have been frozen tundra. As far as our most recent civilizations that we can look at, Göbekli Tepe and Taran Tepe are older than the Mesopotamian and the Egyptian civilizations, and they have recently realized that Göbekli Tepe has housing units in and around it that they still were somewhat, they were in between hunter-gatherer and agricultural societies. So hunters went out, came back. People stayed there, had small agriculture. But Göbekli Tepe is roughly about 7,000 to 9,000 BCE. They haven't fully excavated
They're going up 1,000 miles per hour. That is so funny. In all seriousness, today was my birthday, and I was secretly hoping it would happen today. I mean, hey, it's not Feast of Trumpets yet, though, but my next birthday will be a heavenly one. How exciting is that? But we're just sitting outside under the stars and under the lights, just having a cup of tea and just thinking about what the next few days hold, you know. We're thinking about that 3 days of darkness and the rapture on Tuesday.
But wait, there's more. This is the guy that she's talking about who's, making it all fun, them getting ready for the rapture.
I'll tell you what, guys, some of us knew. Some of us really knew. And it's hard to
I get it now. I get it. Clear as day. I get it.
explain.
I get it now. I get it. Clear as day. I get it now. I get it. Clear as day. I get it. I get it now. I
Please welcome.
Make me feel this way. Been waiting all day for you, baby. Won't you come sit and talk to me? And tell me how we're gonna be together always. Hope you know that when it's late at night, hold on to my pillow tight. You think of how you promised me forever. I never thought that oh no, could make me feel this way. No. That you're here, boy, all I want. It's just a chance to say, get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late, and I can't wait for you to be gone. 'Cause I know about her, and I wonder how I bought all the lies. You said that you would treat me right, but you was just a waste of time. Tell me why you're looking so confused when I'm the one who didn't know the truth. How could you ever be so cold to go behind my back and call my friend? Boy, you must have gone and bumped your head because you left a number on your phone. Well, maybe I'm the one to blame, but it didn't work out that way. Get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late, and I can't.
Social media whipping people up again about this end times prophecy that's not happening. And the whole thing has turned into like this big joke on the internet.
The end is near. At least that's what one corner of TikTok is claiming.
My fellow Christians out there, I want this video to help one another.
It's being called Rapture Talk, a convinced contingent of TikTok users who claim the rapture is happening today.
Once again, Christianity, the church, is becoming a laughingstock. People are laughing at us. People are mocking us. And you would think that maybe we ought not care about it. Maybe we should care about it. Maybe we should.
And during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Mussolini and Kennedy. I'm the cult of personality. The cult of personality. The cult of personality. Neon lights, Nobel Prize. When a mirror speaks, the reflection lies. You won't have to follow me. Only you can set me free. So things you need to be. I'm the smiling face on your TV. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. I exploit you, still you love me. I tell you one and 1 makes 3. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Joseph Stalin and Gandhi. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. The cult of personality. The cult of personality. Neon lights, Nobel Prize. When a leader speaks, that leader dies. You won't have to follow me. Only you can set you free.
I get it now. I get it. Clear as day. I get it. After the death of CK, a bishop, a pastor, a man of God was preaching from the pulpit. And during his sermon, he says he no longer wanted to be called a Christian. He said the stigma that's now attached to that title, he doesn't want that to be laid upon him. He said from now on, he wants to be called a follower of Jesus Christ. And I get it now. MAGA has tainted the word Christian. MAGA has more than proven that there's a difference between Christians and followers of Jesus Christ. Uh-huh. And I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. Uh-huh. Right now, MAGA nut Christians are preparing for the rapture. They are preparing for the rapture. The rapture is happening on Tuesday, September 24th. It's all over social media, TikTok, Twitter. They are preparing for the rapture. I got a few videos because I know y'all don't believe me. I know y'all don't believe me. Let me get my coffee and let's get to watching.
6 days, almost 5 days to rapture time. I'm so excited. Who else is excited? There's a guy, his account here, I don't know what his real name is, but he's a riot and he's making this whole journey so fun. But his account is called Rapture Now. He was just talking about, hey, have you heard that, there's an angel assigned to each person when we get raptured? He was like, I wonder if our pets get raptured too. He's like, dude, I want to be that.
Could you imagine?
Or yeah, he goes, could you imagine?
Into this clip by why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president.
I came across the one that had a dream and it had that date on there and they had confirmation from God. And I thought, well, that was interesting. And I saved it, but just went about my day. Came across another video, same thing, someone else. The dream was slightly different, but the message was the same. Saved the video, thought that was neat. kept going about my day. This was like a different day. And then it happened enough times, there was something that really got my attention, and it was a video that someone took where they talked about the parable of the 10 virgins.
We're starting off kind of easy here, because the first thing I want to point out is how powerful these videos are to other people, and then it gets them to make their own videos. It fills their headspace with the possibility of this where they hadn't seen it before, and then their own confirmations happen. That is the pattern over and over and over and over. Again, go watch all your own videos. You will see it for yourself. Isn't that interesting? Wouldn't you think that it would be more powerful for God to put this on everyone's heart all at the same time, separate from each other? So they all go online the next day with the same dream, the same vision, the same whatever. But no, it never happens like that. It's, I saw videos and I didn't believe it. I saw videos and I didn't know anything about that. And then all of a sudden, now that it's in my psyche and it's mapped onto my current religious belief, and I've gone and looked at verses and watched videos and done research, I'm getting my own confirmation from God. So I know the part I just showed you is sounding like wishy-washy, but she has received 5. You know what? I'll just let her tell you.
I received 5 signs, 2 when I was awake, and 3 where I had dreams that were shown to me. And this all took place in August. One of those dreams was a message from God himself, and it was a direct verbal message. So I really want to be able to share this with you. I promised him that I would. It's very important to me that I get his word out.
It was a dream, but it was still a direct verbal message from God. And she's sure of it. She goes on to explain that she's not an online person. She's a hermit. She would never just do this, but she made a deal. She made a promise to God to get the word out, because God needs her to tell other Christians that already believe about the rapture. How does that make any sense? Like, again, even if we just zoom out and we start looking at motivations from God about why he would be putting this on everyone's hearts. And there is a verse where they're all getting this from. It's Acts 2:17, but it's actually referencing something from Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. You know, the kind of insanely vague, non-specific things that anyone can just attach to themselves. That's why a lot of these videos are not only people having dreams, but they're 5-year-old, their 3-year-old, their 7-year-old having dreams and telling them rapture confirmation. So we won't watch any more from her. It's just kind of setting up how this infects people. It is a disease you can catch, rapture fever. I know I survived it many times in my own childhood. But let's move on to our next example here. This is someone who now has had their own confirmation, just like this woman, but it started for him where he was just reading through everyone else's confirmation. So he's going to share a few of those, then he's going to get to his confirmation. And by the way, some of these, not all, but there is a channel called Uplifted, who I would expect to be also part of this deal, who encourages people who are getting rapture confirmation dreams to send their videos to them so they can post it all in one place. So that's where a few of these are from, but let's go to this next young man.
Hi everyone. Today I decided to make a video about some of the rapture confirmations I've heard from other people's testimonies. I've screenshotted some comments of different people's testimonies, and I thought I would compile them all into a list. So we're going to get started with this one. My 5-year-old son Jackson told me this morning, he said, 38 more days, Mama, and Jesus is coming. And the comment says, that comes to September 24th. Another comment says, I just had a dream about the rapture. Jesus told me he is coming this September. And then he said the number 23. So excited. I have rapture dreams all the time, but not like this.
So I want to cut in really quick, and I won't have you watch him go through all of these, but I'm going to show you his own confirmation that happens after, of course, he's been going through all of them. But these first couple are perfect examples of literally thousands of these cases where people talk about their kids having a vision or seeing Jesus. And, you know, one of the ladies who's making this claim, she's talking about how her kid is autistic. He literally can't lie. He doesn't lie. He will tell you, I don't know if he doesn't know, but this was the first time he said, no, Jesus told me, right? It's always an exception, and it's always supposed to be something we're supposed to believe more because it's coming from a child, as if children don't make things up or just have weird dreams? And also, do you think any of these children would be having these dreams if they grew up in a Hindu family or a Buddhist family? You know, it's funny, I'll share a personal story really quick. It happened just last night, and I'm sure it's because I've had this stuff on my mind, but somehow the topic of Y2K came up. I was telling my son this, and it was really fun, and we're looking for a documentary to watch, so if you know of a good Y2K one, let me know, because I told him we would watch something together. But when I told him what people thought about Y2K, and I didn't even get into the spiritual, and he was like, do you think you would have survived? You know, he's really interested in like what the breakdown of society would look like. We just got done watching Planet of the Apes, and he kind of got a taste of that. They grew up in a never been able to have this rapture dream because it wasn't in his world yet. The kids that are having these dreams, that are telling their parents these kinds of things, guaranteed, because I was a kid who had dreams like that, are in an environment that is promoting it and talking about it constantly. And because it is such a heavy subject, you know, the end of the world or getting to go to heaven tomorrow, whatever it is for you, of course you're going to dream about it. That's not a sign of the amazing connection between Jesus and children and him using the least of these to encourage the rest of us. It has to do with the insanity that goes on in your current Christian household where this is infecting your children's dreams. They also probably go to the kind of church or Bible study that talks about this all of the time. I'm sure you could make a chart of like the kind of Christian and the kind of church that have these pre-trib beliefs, the extent to which they're promoted and talked about, to a correlation of the kind of people that are making these assertions. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of get that point out, but let's hear his own confirmation.
I had a confirmation as well. I'll mention that real quickly, where after listening to hundreds of testimonies, maybe over 1,000 testimonies of people having rapture confirmations pointing to September 23, 24, the Feast of Trumpets in the year 2025, I seriously thought about it and I prayed and I said, God, I ask that you give me a testimony. And later that day, about an hour later, as I was driving to work, this car swerves in front of me and the car has a bumper sticker on it. And the bumper sticker says 239 flies. And when I saw that, I thought to myself, well, I drive a lot for work. Sometimes I'll drive an hour just to get to my job. I drive by hundreds of thousands of cars every week. And I never see a car with a bumper sticker on it that says 923 or 239. And because that one said 239 flies, that started getting me thinking, well, what if, we do fly on that day? What if that stands for the 23rd of the 9th month of the year, September 23? I looked it up and it actually was a fishing company based out of Florida that does fly fishing. And so I thought just the chances that occurs, and I'm in Texas, so the chances that occurs, it just seems so rare to me. And this car stayed in front of me after it cut me off for like 5 minutes. It was right in front of me. If I sped up or slowed down, it would speed up and slow down too. I thought, how strange is that? Just the very same day I asked God for my own confirmation, and I get that.
Now here's another one. We're going to listen to that too, but I just want to stop here. The power of coincidence to people just never ceases to amaze them. Can he not zoom out and hear what he's actually saying? He watched a ton of these things, wanted to have this experience himself, prayed for it. And I thought he was actually going to use the term when he said confirm. I thought he was going to say confirmation bias, because that's so clearly what this is. Your brain looks to make these connections. For anyone that wants a fun experience of this, go watch the movie, is it 23 with Jim Carrey, where he becomes obsessed with this number and he sees it everywhere. He just got done hearing 923, 923. Scanned and saw, even maybe subconsciously, hundreds of different license plates, all with combinations. But this one sticks out to him? Yeah, of course it does. There's a term for it. It's the frequency illusion, or the Bader-Meinhof principle or phenomenon, something like that. I remember the very first time it happened to me, again, just giving a story. I was in Sunday school, heard the word abundance for the first time ever, with an illustration of a cup that was running over with abundance. And later that afternoon, we're in Target, and I heard my mom use that same word. I've known my mom my whole life at that point, obviously. I'd never heard her use that word, and it blew my little mind. I just learned this word in Sunday school, Mom. Now, funny enough, looking back, my mom used that word all the time because she also was infused with Bible speak. Oh, we don't need that. We're in abundance. But it never registered to me until I learned what that word was. So this man has this new awareness, this new appreciation for 923, and then he sees it. It means that alone and nothing more. I mean, sorry to just beat this in. He says himself, he sees hundreds of thousands of cars a week, is I think what he said. And he's never seen a bumper sticker that says 923 on it. You've never looked for a bumper sticker before. Here's a fun experiment. Let's do 828. Anyone watching this video, go on an hour drive. Keep that number in mind, 828, and see if between street signs, license plates, bumper stickers, or anything else that you can see from your car window, you don't find something that fits on day one. Now, it won't work for all of you, but it'll work for a lot of you. And that's what all of this is. It's a numbers game. I guarantee you there's someone else who prayed a prayer very similar to this man's that went out that same day and didn't get any kind of confirmation because there wasn't a coincidence on the road for him to link it to. So you're not hearing about that, you're hearing about this. And then those extra little details of, oh, it swerved to get in front of me. What are the chances? Oh, when I sped up or slowed down, it sped up or slowed down. We've all had that happen. It's called traffic. But when you're already on the hunt and you're already making a connection, every little thing becomes another stepping stone. It is how our brains work. All right, let's hear a second one.
Just about a week later, I had another rapture confirmation happen to me where I was watching a video where this guy was talking about how he was praying to God, asking him for his own rapture confirmation. And he said, God, I want you to give me a confirmation in a very specific way so that the very next car that I see starts with the number 9, and the other numbers also point towards something confirming the Feast of Trumpets, September 23, 24. And the very next car that went in front of his car had the numbers 942 on it. And he said the way he interpreted that was that if you read it backwards, it reads 249, or the 24th day of the 9th month. And what was interesting was I was listening to that rapture confirmation video for that person's video while I was driving to work.
All right, check.
And as soon as that person stopped talking about that rapture confirmation, a car swerved in front of me that also had 942 on the license plate as the only numbers on the license plate. And I thought to myself, well, that seems like that might be even another confirmation from God. So if you look on YouTube, you'll find thousands of rapture confirmations, testimonies mentioning the Feast of Trumpets, September 23, 24, this year, 2025. If you don't believe, ask God. Don't lean on your own understanding. Don't misinterpret scripture. Just go straight to the source and ask God to give you your own confirmation, and he will. Believe and repent.
Now, keep in mind, I don't need to debunk this. This is all going to get debunked on its own on Tuesday or Wednesday when the rapture doesn't happen. So if you're thinking like, I don't know, that second one really sounds strange, just wait. But if you want to know how this is happening, again, he's setting up his own coincidences. He's saying, okay, a week later. So he's already been watching a ton of videos. And even though he had his own rapture confirmation, which should have sealed the deal for him, he's still watching more because it's an addiction, because it's exciting to these people, or because they're fearful, or because they're hopeful and they want to keep feeling that same energy. So as he's on another long drive, he's listening to video after video after video after video. And he's probably been doing that for weeks at this point. And this one particular video happens to have its own coincidence to, again, another car that swerves in front of him. How speed up, man. And isn't this one in direct opposition to his 923 because it's 924? Like, it can't be both, but it doesn't matter because when you're looking for the hits, that's all you see and that's all you remember. Let's be super minimal and say he only watched 10 other videos, which I know is not the case.
Check.
That means for 9 of those videos, there was no other connection. But he sees a similar license plate to a store.
And then we do dialogue and we talk and blase and glave noise and some more flavonoids, and then I replay.
On the 10th video, and now that's what you're hearing. You're only hearing the hits. He's only replaying the hits. And so part of the mission of this video, aside from the deal that I'm trying to make for accountability's sake, is to show you, not just for end time stuff, but for Christianity, for religion, for woo, for the spiritual, for new age, for everything like that. This is how everybody confirms it. Bad understandings of their own psychology. And when you can see it, and then when we can add the falsifiability that is coming on Wednesday, I'm hoping that it can really get through to some of you. And as much as I want to just show you like another 100 videos and go through and talk about all of the issues and all the psychology, let's just do 1 or 2 more videos, talk about some harms, and get out of here. So a little two-parter here, because this woman, her name is Jen. She has 2 channels. One is huge. It's like 500,000 people. And here's the
really
intro to her most recent video on that channel.
Because the times we're living in, it's not a joke anymore. 10 years ago, it was just, it's a conspiracy.
Once you see the mark of the beast, that's the end of the end of the end. You are literally in the Great Tribulation.
No one knows anything about it.
Really familiar.
Shop in their among European countries with.
I get it now.
All right, let's go. I'm just gonna say bada bing.